Right, the House is expected to approve a bill that would take back about $9 billion for public broadcasting and foreign aid. A final vote is scheduled for tonight. Republicans are targeting programs they see as bloated or not meeting their agenda. The White House has described the measure as a test case and says if Congress goes along, more requests will come. If it passes, it would be the first time in decades that a president has successfully submitted such a request to Congress. Haley Bickelhop joins us in studio. Now, Haley, if this bill passes, how could it change what folks hear on the radio or see on TV?
Well, hey, John, here in the Quad Cities, I caught up with NPR affiliate WVIK, and about 13% of their budget comes from the federal government. That totals to be about $135,000 a year. But budget cuts will have an impact on them and other stations across the country who are dealing with even larger funding gaps.
Good afternoon from the WVIK newsroom in Rock Island.
The sound is on for public broadcasting, but there's question marks next to future funding.
When the public broadcasting system takes a hit like this, it's going to have implications in place that you're not even anticipating.
Jared Johnson is the general manager at WVIK. In addition to news, emergency notifications like flooding, natural disasters, and Amber Alerts are part of his station's job.
All of the emergency alerts that you hear on radio, any radio station in the Quad Cities, they're all listening to us, and that's an infrastructure that we keep in place to keep the Quad Cities safe.
He's not scared of federal funding cuts, but he thinks it will delay growth for his station.
We'll have to rearrange how we're spending our dollars. But even here in town, there are public broadcasting stations for whom that number is not 13%, it's more like 50%.
Stations like WGVV or the PBS TV station, WQPT, both rely on federal grants for about 40 to 50% of their budgets.
There are rural stations for whom it's 80 or 90% of the money they bring in. And so they very well may have to close their doors in those situations.
Thursday morning, Johnson was on a call with other general managers across the country. He's still optimistic.
We know that there is bipartisan support for what we've done for decades in this country, and I know it's here in the Quad Cities, in this community.
The Trump administration says NPR and PBS are biased towards the left.
Is it perfect? No. Can it always be judged? Of course. But this isn't the way to do it, to suddenly take a 100% cut to the entire system from federal funding. And at the last minute, when we all have to pivot our budgets in the middle of the year, there are better ways to have this conversation.
At WVIK.org.
Well, in that video towards the end, you could see someone working in a podcasting studio. Well, that room is open to the community, but WVIK says it's a project that'll be put on the back burner if the House moves forward with this bill. John.
All right, Haley, thank you. Right now, about $600,000 of his budget comes from listener support. So Johnson says he believes the community will rally behind them and meet their need.